Hey, good evening, everyone. In tonight's free video, just want to touch base on the S&P 500 and kind of the reaction that we had with the Fed. Didn't get much out of it. We did get a pop. We did get a pop in relation to where we've been. You can see we've kind of been trading in this mini down channel for the last couple of days here. And the expectation, I guess you could say, would be that we may start to find some resistance here and pull back, but who knows? But the real interesting thing here is, and one thing I think we should all notice as traders is when we come into significant support levels, how does the market react? And one of the things you'll notice is here, like before, we'd spend no more than a couple of days, one day at usually just kind of hovering and then bouncing. In this case, we've been in this level for 1, 2, 3 days now. I think that is kind of a tell of how weak we are right here. One example that I can kind of relate it to is if we take a look at like gold. If we look at gold recently, a trade that we've actually been short from all the way up here, based on our rules, of course, is when we came down to a support level, and that we typically expect as traders that this would be some support. But what you'll notice is when you get these kind of bounces that are very mediocre, right? When you get these kind of moves where it comes in and it's like, and it can't really get going, and then in 2 or 3 days of work of trying to go down, it gives it all back in just a few hours. That to me is a tell sign that it's weak. So like for something like gold, if we can break through here, and I've mentioned this before, if we break through here and close, I'm looking for a 127 extension. I think that's a pretty probable, better than 50% chance of happening. So when I look at the S&P 500 going back, you'll see that there's a few factors here that are really keeping this thing where it is right now. Number one, you've got a couple trend lines in effect. Number one, you got this major support that we've had, for a couple of months. We've also got this major support right here. That's kind of this. It's been this channel that we've been in for the last, since October of last year. You see, we've been trending in this channel up and down, up and down, up and down. We've been in the upper range of it for a while. So it's no surprise that we're holding there. We also have a 50%, 50 to 618 retracement in here. So you got three things that are kind of holding this thing. And what's surprising is, at least for now, is there hasn't been a real bounce off of it. Usually when we're seeing bounces, like if we rewind and go back, you'll see when we get to like 50 to 618 retracements, you'll see significant bounces, right? Like when we came in here, we saw a nice bounce, and it's a reactive bounce, right? Here, for example, we went from here to there, and we came into the 50% retracement right there. Let's get rid of this one for a second. You see, we came into the 50. You saw a reactive bounce. It was immediate. It happened quickly. A lot of times when you're seeing from like here to here, when you're seeing the market really having a hard time getting a bounce. I'm not saying we can't bounce. I mean, it's very possible tomorrow we could bounce 50 points if we really wanted to. That's very possible. And you can see we're up about a couple points in the after hours right now. But what I'm saying is when you see it having a hard time bouncing, a lot of times that's suggestive of weakness. So keep an eye here. If we break this major channel and break this support, then I think that's a really good chance we're going to go down to the bottom of this and maybe start really seeing a pullback in this market, which I really believe is due if we look at like the monthly and the weekly charts. Okay, and I've talked about that before in the premium videos especially. So keep an eye here. We got some more news coming out this week. More importantly, GDP at the end on Friday. Stay patient, follow your rules, follow your plan, and that's about it. We are also going to be doing a webinar on Friday at noon, or 12:30. I'm sorry, at 12:30 Eastern afternoon, of course. So feel free to stop by. It's totally free. And we're going to be talking about, again, what we do here at Ratio Trading, what Ratio Trading is all about. some of the stuff that we're going to be doing next week. We're doing a webinar next week, a live trading webinar in which we teach you some of the stuff that we do, some of the powerful Fibonacci tactics that we teach, and all that interesting stuff. So I will hyperlink you to that, or you can just sign up for it by going to the upper right hand corner of our website and then clicking here, and then that's it. Now if you want to learn more about, keep making that mistake, if you want to learn more about what we're doing at the webinar, at our webinar next week, the live trading webinar, you can just simply click on product and then click on training series, and that'll talk about all the stuff that we talk about and teach at our webinars. So just keep that in mind, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll see you guys at the webinar, and we'll see you guys in the next video update.